I mean, some could argue that it's like you didn't even get to the late game. You just won fast enough. Is that like an argument that has any merit or no?
I mean, you get Baron, and then you try to end the game, right? Like that's kind of how League works.
Mm-hmm.
We got Baron, and this time we ended the game twice. So I think that's like pretty solid.
Hey there, everybody. Parks Ousley here, and I'm joined by Licorice, the top laner for Golden Guardians, after an incredible game against Dignitas, where you kind of just had your way. You kind of got to do whatever you wanted. Tell me how it felt to lock in Fiora and just kind of walk all over the Rift and play out that game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt good. I was really excited when I saw the Tryndamere because I knew there's no chance anyone was gonna ban the Fiora. The only thing is I haven't actually practiced it because I kept playing Champions Queue. Like I played it in scrims like a week and a half ago because I was like, I think this is gonna be good, and then it was really good in that game. And then in Champions Queue, I was against someone from Fly or someone from Dig every game this week, I swear. So then I never wanted to pull it out. I was I don't know what to pick into Tryndamere here. What could I possibly take? So I think the early game actually should have been a little bit better out of me. The early lane, I think he actually had an XP lead at one point, which I think shouldn't happen in my opinion. I mean, it's hard to tell because no one plays this matchup, but I mean, after early game, I got the one solo kill, and then the rest of the game felt really good.
Yeah, that first solo kill was also really close. That was on a knife's edge. Do you feel like you would have been able to have a similar performance if it were a one for one, or he got the last auto type of deal?
I mean, I think because I have Ignite, I'm pretty much guaranteed that if I Ignite partway through his ult, he's dead, no matter what. He died to the Ignite in the end. I wasn't quite sure if I needed the last auto, but didn't. So I think 1 for 1, totally okay. 0 for 1, obviously not so good. 1 for 0, best case scenario, and then it just makes the rest of the game really easy.
Yeah, I don't know if you've caught up on this yet, but during the game they kept trying to play the replay. Because every time that you'd get a kill, there's either something else was happening or they were just replaying your last kill. And so we completely missed your second kill because Kobe was screaming and he was like, wait, I want to see the first kill again. And so we were watching the first kill. The second kill happens and we just see you walking out from turret. And we were like, what just happened? And then when we were watching that one, you were forcing him to use ult on a completely different part of the map. It was just we were playing Leapfrog or something with all of the replays. But it was a really entertaining game for us to watch. How has it been kind of navigating some of the season, going through ups and downs of being a middle of the pack team like most are, and trying to figure out what should you be working on to kind of get to this point where you can have a lot of fun out on stage?
Yeah, I actually want to give a big shout out to my coaching staff. I think they're fantastic. That's been the thing that's impressed me the most since I joined Golden Guardians last year, late in the split. The way we coached everyone, we had a pretty completely new roster. I played with Olive for 1 month last year, so not even very long. We started with early game. We started with first Rift Herald, and we started talking about progressing through the game like that. So I think it totally makes sense that our issue was late game because we didn't quite get that far yet as a new team, and now I think feels like we covered pretty much everything as far as basic macro stuff. We're definitely on the same page, and it just feels really good to play.
Mm-hmm. So I want to talk some about the late game stuff, just because that's the narrative going around. It's Golden Guardians is one of the best early game teams. They're actually really, really strong. You always have to watch out for them, and then there was always that but. You all had, it was an 11K gold lead.
Yeah.
And I know that those feel really bad, and I'm sorry to bring that back to your memory.
It's fine.
But especially now, having seen this game, it could have been the same. You were in a similar position. You had a really strong lead.
Yeah.
But you didn't throw. You got the win this time. So what has been kind of the way that you've overcome that? How have you been mending those issues in scrims the last few weeks?
I mean, we just focused a lot on late game team fighting. It's really quite simple, actually. I think the thing that made it hard was that you're not supposed to lose in late game with a gold lead, but if we were a new team and we messed up every mid game, people would be oh, it's just a new team, they need time to figure things out. Just so happens that we already progressed past that into the late game, and then we just couldn't quite figure out the late game. I think it's much less of a big deal than people were making out. It's like, yeah, now we worked on our late game team fighting and we won 2 games in like 26 minutes. So cool. You know?
I mean, some could argue that it's like you didn't even get to the late game. You just won fast enough.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're just still really, really, really good at the early game and into the mid game. Is that like an argument that has any merit or no?
I mean, you get Baron and then you try to end the game, right? Like that's kind of how League works.
Mm-hmm.
We got Baron and this time we ended the game twice. So I think that's like pretty solid.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so would you have any tips then for Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves and their 50-minute game and their 3 elders? Anything, that they could have done to team fight better or set up something better?
Just trade secret stuff,
Yeah, I was just seeing if you could do them a solid. That's fair, I'll respect that.
I do want that playoff spot. So maybe in a week from now we can have another chat.
So let's talk about that then. You are 7-8. There are 2 other teams that are 7-8, including Evil Geniuses and Dignitas, who you just played. Mm-hmm. So congrats on tying up the record there. This was a really important game for you all.
Yeah, this was really important.
And next week, I didn't look at the schedule, but obviously all 3 of the games are going to be very important.
Yeah, we play EG for sure. I think TL and then maybe IMT.
Okay.
Maybe IMT. I think TL and EG, I'm pretty confident we play them.
Okay, cool. So what is the team's thought now? Obviously, win now is very important because you have to get into playoffs.
Yeah.
But also winning in playoffs is very important.
Yeah.
What do you think the shift is going to be and the focus is going to be this week heading into the last Super Week?
I mean, now that we've covered a lot of the basic macro stuff, I think it's just like laning mostly, because that's always going to be like something that you constantly have to like keep up to par, because laning is like you must be this tall to ride kind of thing. And like if you can't get out of lane, then like the game just ends. So I think like my guess is that we're just going to focus on laning, champion picks, drafts, like lane matchups, and make sure we have a draft we want, because our team play feels really solid right now.
Awesome. Is there any other like stuff going on? Anything else that you want to talk about Golden Guardian side before we head out? Things you want to say to the fans?
I don't know. Cheer for us. I think we like, if you watch our games, we've been progressing a lot, like really quickly, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in playoffs.
Yeah, I am too. Any words to T1? Have you watched any of the T1 games? Did you see that they went 18-0?
Yeah. I did see that. I would say that if anyone from T1 is watching this, Sam, I can't think of his last name right now, I'm blanking, but Sam, our positional jungle coach, is a huge T1 fan. So if anyone's watching this, Sam is your #1 fan and he loves you.
This is Choo Choo's, right?
No, this is Spooks.
Oh, Spooks. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's
Samuel
right.
Broadley. I got the name.
Broadley.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, shouts out to Sam. Thank you again so much for the interview. Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week.